Hi, everybody. We're here at the Pirate Toy Fund new headquarters here on Turner Drive in Spencerport. We're about to do a ribbon cutting ceremony to introduce the world to what we've done here. And we couldn't have done it without you, Rochester. Thank you so much for helping us be where we're at, and especially those who came out and made the building a success. So thank you from the Pirate Toy Fund. We'll see you guys soon. Be looking forward to our ribbon cutting. I gotta say thank you so much for being here for the Pirate Toy Fund. We could not be here today if it wasn't for the vision of three people: Gary the Happy Pirate, Dave and Lori Simonetti. Their vision 29 years ago led us to where we are today because people believed in what we were doing. So before we get going, I'm going to have Father Rob. We're going to bless our new building and we're going to go from there.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Well, Christy Marie Simonetti had a brief life, but her impact on us, her family and friends, and on people who even didn't know her or meet her, lives amid everyone to this day. She is alive not only in the Lord's eternal kingdom, but in our hearts and souls. Her presence is here. Christy was a special child. Her spirit was valiant. Even when hospitalized, she would be generous in sharing and gifting her toys to others. She knew then what we celebrate in her name and legacy, the mission of the Pirate Toy Fund. Dave and Lori, along with Gary and Catherine, have much to be proud of for all they've done for thousands of children. They brought the spirit of Christy to so many girls and boys. Catherine's song that she wrote, Share Your Life With Me, reflects Christy's life, the hands of sharing and generosity, and the heart of this mission that lives on this very moment. How wonderful it is that we gather this day to cut a ribbon and offer a blessing for this beautiful new facility. So we pray. Loving God and Christy, we ask you to send your blessings lovingly upon this new gathering space for the Pirate Toy Fund. May your spirit bless all who work and volunteer for this mission. May your blessing go forth to all who will receive gifts to make their hearts lighter and happier. And may all of us gathered here this afternoon have our hearts lighter and happier, knowing we participate in this mission of the Pirate Toy Fund, inspired by Christy, her parents, and Gary. And the blessing of God be on each of us and this building, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. Now I have two of Gary's grandchildren who are going to bring the scissors up here. You guys are ready to come up? You guys ready? Come right up front. Good job. Good job. You want to give one round?
Good job, guys.
And we would have done this outside, but I think you guys would have been mad at me. Okay, so.
Good call, Otto.
Okay, what are we doing? Mark, ready, set,
Okay.
oh, countdown, what?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I need to get the next. Thank you. And again, guys, we couldn't have done this if it wasn't for the community. I got to give, again, thanks to the founders who had that vision 29 years ago to think where we're going to be today. The Schneider family, and I know they're very shy. Adam's here. His wife, Callie's here. Where are you, Adam? Where are you, Adam? If it wasn't for them donating this building to us, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you. And they've been a great supporter. They've been donating to the Pirate Toy Fund for years. And when we were looking for a building, we went to church, we broke bread together. Next thing you know, he gave me a building. So I'm looking for a Cadillac now, okay? So I'm going to go to church with him next week, and hopefully I can get a car. On top of that, the next one this building wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for Dave Simonetti, his brother Anthony Simonetti, and Dan Simonetti. They're all here. They did. But it goes beyond that, guys, and I know they're probably going to get mad at me, but they invested with materials and everything. Over $70,000 they donated to the Pirate Toy Fund and absorbed all that cost for us. So that I'm ever grateful to them. They've been great. Another huge sponsor of ours, RJW, the Wallenhorst family. Wallenhorst Rick Sr. cannot be here. He's in the hospital. So a prayer, if you got one, can go a long way. But his wife Karen's here. His daughter-in-law Jen's on her board. Yep, there she is. Right. Oh, is he on the phone? Hey! Everybody say hi to Rick! Hey, Rick! Oh. They've donated money to us. They did all the kitchen cabinets for us, not taking a penny from us. So God bless you guys for helping us. Tracy Door, Michelle, they came in and they put a brand new overhead door. Didn't take a penny from us. Motor and everything. And the next big one too is Christie Carpets. Mark and Pam are here today. If it wasn't for them, all the flooring stuff, you guys are phenomenal. You donated that to us. Never asked a question. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for us. Another big sponsor of ours, and they've been with us since we started, is Wegmans. Linda Lovejoy's here. She's been with the Wegmans, I think she told me 30-something years. And Diane Cardone and Michelle Marino, they've done nothing but help the Pirate Toy Fund. They're Wegmans that collect our toys. They used to do in Chase Pickens. Now they do it in the Wegmans. They give us money every year. They help us with our fundraising. I can't thank those ladies enough because it's because of those three we are at where we are today too. So thank you, Wegmans, for doing that. And also, Dr. Electric, Matt Korsh is here. That guy came in, did a lot of the electrical work for us, bought all the materials for us, didn't charge us a penny. The guy's phenomenal. He's over there with his camera up. Hi, Matt! So, another big sponsor of that. So with that being said, thank you. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but for those who are so generous to help us get where we are today, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because we couldn't have done it without you guys. We couldn't be here today having this facility, and now we got, and I don't know if you're aware of it, we have 2 more tractor trailers of toys to bring in here. So we are blessed. It's been a great year. Kitty Van Bordo donated a van this year. The Snyder's the building. If you know anybody who does asphalt, I need a parking lot, okay? So if you could put that out there too, we're working on that for next year. But we are a blessed organization. We're going to be going 30 years strong, and we're going to be going another 30 years strong. So because of people like you and the people who helped us today, and by Gary the Happy Pirate and the Simonettis, Dave and Lori, for founding this 29 years ago. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the founders real quick, Dave and Lori and Gary and Kathy, and let them say a few words on behalf of the Toy Fund.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. First, before I forget, if you know anybody with any energy, we're looking for a new executive director.
He's a slacker.
Yeah, we need someone with some energy. You know, I would love to sit here and thank each and every one of you. Otto already did this, so I'm not going to go there. Where I want to go is back to what the Pirate Toy Fund is all about. And I was thinking about this hard because I usually say kind of the same stuff every time, and which is all good and true. But I really think the Pirate Toy Fund is nothing more than years and years and years of relationships. Starting with the relationship that Gary and Christy had 31 years ago. Gary at that time was, you know, the man in town. He was probably, and still is, the most recognized child entertainer that ever came out of the Rochester area. And for that, we appreciate everything. And there's more to that. You know, he was a busy man, but he saw in the moment a child who needed some cheering up, and Gary took time to, in the last year of Christy's life, last month, to become a very good friend. And speaking with Kathy, you know, who between Gary and Kathy together probably have more children and grandchildren than the town of Ogden. So children were, you know, part of their life, and Gary and Kathy are also very religious people. Gary, I think, saw a mission in life that was always geared and tailored with children, and spent a lot of years going up and singing to the kids at the hospital after Christy had passed and such. And that relationship between Gary and Christy formed a relationship between Lori and Kathy and Gary and I. And because we both came at it from different directions, Gary and Kathy had their reason and purpose, right? There was, at time years ago, many of you remember Eddie Meath, and they used to give out toys at Christmas time. And that had gone away a few years before, and Gary had that in his mind. And the community was so overwhelmingly gracious to Lori and I and our family through Christy's ordeal that we always felt the need to do something back. And when Christy was in the hospital, every toy that was given to her by generous people in the community, Christy would give to Lori and say, give them to the kids in the hospital. She had one. And so, you know, that bond formed, and I think that's where, when we two meshed together, we saw the need to form the Toy Fund. And we lived the idea that toys aren't just needed at Christmas time. These kids are in the hospital every day, and every day they need a toy. And we saw firsthand what it did to those kids. And so, you know, in thinking about it, we think of a toy as fun, as this and that. Christmas, you give your grandkids a toy, your children, and it's all happy and nice. I was thinking more that this toy is really a diversion. It's taking a kid, whether they're in a hospital or in a domestic issue, and they're really using this toy and gravitating to it as a diversion for their problems or pain at that moment. And different toys, different things, right? You have a box toy where they can play with somebody else and it takes their mind off their problem at the moment. And then there's the stuffed animal that becomes their friend, their confidant, the person that they can talk to and cry with when mom and dad or friends aren't around. And so many people that we have given toys to over the years, back when we started, will come to us today and say, hey, I still have that toy. You don't know what it did for me. I used to, you know, go to every, you know, bone marrow aspiration, whatever it was that they had to do, and that toy was with them. And it meant so much. So these toys mean a lot to us, and they're fun. But to these kids, they're everything, especially at the moment. And so I can't, and I'm sure Lori and Gary and Kathy can't, thank this community enough, because none of it would have happened without you. We can have all the dreams and the thoughts and the ideas that we want, but we couldn't make that happen without each and every one of you. And the board members that we've had over the years, Bob and such, that have been with us for 29 years, who have dedicated their life. Gary, who dedicated a huge portion of his life to this organization, and through his passion and heart that he felt was necessary. Otto, who is, you know, taken, you know, so much energy now and put it into this to get it out there and let everybody know what we're doing. So again, from Lori, Kathy, Gary, and I, we can't thank you enough, and we are so happy that you're here today to celebrate something that I don't think, maybe you did, Gary, I never dreamt that we would get to where this is today. And so because of you, we've gotten here. So thank you very much.
Again, there's a couple organizations that felt the need to give us proclamations. We should be giving them out to the community for what they do for us. But I'm going to have Joe, you want to come up with, you have something right now, and then we have, sorry.
I will be as brief as I can be, but let me say on behalf of myself, who's on the board here, and Senator Rob Ork, who couldn't be here today, we do want to acknowledge this great contribution. I mean, you can already feel it in the room. This is a celebration of humanity. This has grown so big. And when you talk about the legacy of your daughter, Father Rob said it right, it was short, but it was meaningful. And this whole organization, her good name is going to live on. And the other one that we didn't mention, the biggest bone marrow donation ever was all in your daughter's name. And it's just been so great to be a part of this board and a part of this. And literally, I told Senator Orton, I said, sometimes, don't tell anybody, I complain about some of my board work, but not this one. This is just a labor of love. They have gone so far beyond even the hospitals. Now there's a program to give toys to kids that are involved in domestic abuse, violence. We just recently did a war memorial giveaway to kids in need, and none of it would have happened if it wasn't for Gary, Christy, Simonetti's, and all the people that volunteer. So know you're all a part of it. And I'm not going to read this whole proclamation, but this is just to acknowledge and get read in the record of New York State all the great things that are going on because of everybody here, Pirate Toy Fund, and the great people here in this new facility. And I got to say, too, to Adam, thank you so much to you and your family. This couldn't have came out any better if you would have seen it at the beginning to what it is now. It's just a great thing. And, I'll end with this. Senator Orton and I were talking about what to say. You get to deal with a lot of people when you're in government. Some are challenging, some are great, but there's nothing better than helping a kid and making them feel a little bit better, no matter what walk of life we come from. And you guys have done that so much. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate and love you greatly. I met Dave when I was 13. I didn't think he was going to amount to much, but he's pretty good. But thank you all. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. Let me hold this for you. Next is Dr. Green from the mayor's office. Thank you so much for being here. And first of all, I got to clear up one thing. He doesn't stress about the board, but the board does stress about him. Okay, just for the record. So we gotta make sure we made that clear.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to call Councilmember Willie Lightfoot up with me because I'm here on behalf of the mayor. And so when I came in, Otto said, "I think I know you." And I was like, well, no, I don't think so. But it goes back to, although I work in the mayor's office now, I used to be a principal. And Gary was at our school on a number of occasions sharing toys with the students at school number 45. So he was right, I had a connection. But today I'm here on behalf of the mayor, who sends his regards for not being here. And he knows that our children in the city of Rochester has benefited from the Pirate Toy Fund. And so the mayor would like to present a congratulations proclamation presented January 20, 2024 in celebration of the grand opening of the Pirate Toy Fund's new headquarters. Through the incredible work of the Pirate Toy Fund, children across our community can smile and laugh. Thank you for your continued commitment to the children of Rochester. And this is from the office of the mayor.
I will also very briefly will say this. Not only am I standing in conjunction with Dr. Green and Mayor Evans, but I'm standing on behalf of myself and the program that I started over 16 years ago called Cut the Violence. I came to Gary then and we met and he saw what we were doing. Me and Vinnie Dotson, who was a barber who was murdered in his barbershop, we actually started a program where we wanted to start providing toys to kids year-round in barbershops, those who are dealing with the trauma of violence. And that's what you said was very touching to me, how you said it takes them from that moment of time that they may be going through. And that's exactly what we saw in Cut the Violence when we've done 39 events. And every single event, the Pirate Toy Foundation has provided all of the toys for those young people across the city of Rochester, because we've done them in our centers, we've done them in barbershops, we've done them in churches, we've done them all over the city of Rochester. And so I want to thank Gary because he saw something in me to believe in what I was doing at that time. Who would have knew that we would go from 20 homicides or so a year to 80 homicides a year? So imagine how many families are impacted we're all impacted by the violence that's happening in our community. But those families that are directly impacted by that violence, kids ages 10 to 17, and we make it where they have to come accompanied with a parent or a guardian. So we're addressing that entire family. And I could not have done that for almost 15 years without the help of the Pirate Toy Foundation and the belief of Gary and what we were doing in the community. So thank you, Pirate Toy Foundation. Thank you, Gary. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. They got it on video. We're going to cut it from there.
On behalf of my client.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Willie's been great with his program with the kids in the inner city. It's phenomenal. So thank you for what you do. Assemblyman Jensen, please? He's got something for the Pirate Toy Fund.
Yeah, thank you very much, Otto. And I'll keep this brief because I learned when there's champagne and Italian food, be brief. I do have the great honor to represent the town of Ogden, the west side of Monroe County in the State Assembly. And I just want to thank, I want to thank the Pirate Toy Fund for accepting a donation in the town of Ogden to call it home. But thank the Simonettis, Gary, all the volunteers and donors for everything you've done, and to kind of gild the lily on what you said, Dave, and what the father said. You know, in almost 30 years, 500,000 toys. And the legacy of Christy and every single person who played a part of that lives on in 500,000 different toys that have made the light of life just a little bit better for that child for that moment in time. And that toy, if having 5-year-old twins have taught me anything, that toy just doesn't stay with the kid that gets it. It gets passed on, and that joy and that light continues. So on behalf of the 134,000 people that I represent, thank you for all the work that you've done.
Thank you very much.
Not as fun as Joe Roebuck's certificate. Thank you. Oh, and then to save Otto's voice, I want to recognize my colleague in government, Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Zale.
I'm just going to echo everything that's already been said, but I do want to try and point out a couple other individuals that are here. And I'm going to start with our council member, Steve Toms from the Ogden Town Council. And I'm going to recognize Highway Superintendent Dan Wolf. If you drove on roads that were cleared today, you got to out there. I'd be remiss if I didn't also recognize his deputy, Doug Case, who's here. Also, Chief Mitch Flagg from the fire department. Again, thank you for helping us stay safe. I saw Chief Rob Long, Gates PD. Gosh, Chief Tantello as well. Legislator DeFlorio is here. I saw Supervisor Dunning is here. And there's one other person I should mention, and that is the building inspector, Brian Thompson. First of all, thank you for approving of the facility, but also not for nothing. I think that there's an excellent metaphor here, in that a seed was planted a very long time ago in order for us to get here. And the final approval process, making sure the building is safe and that the toys stay safe and everything else. And so the only last thing that I would like to say is, they say the best time to plant a tree is 40 years ago, right? And I believe that's been built, it's been growing, and here we are standing on the fruits of where that grew to. So thank you for choosing Ogden. These are the types of businesses that we want to foster, ones that give back and give so much. So thank you for planting that seed so many years ago, and thank you for everything you're going to do in the future. Thank you.
Tracy, you want to come up for something? And real quick, there's one thing I got to tell you. If you get a chance, if you see someone with a name tag, those are our board members. They've done phenomenal to get us where we're at today. There's one I got to give a shout out to real quick, is Michael Slattery. He's on our board. He's done 90. Where are you, Mike? Come on, Mike. Come on up here, Mike. Mike. I thought I was OCD. You had to park your car a certain way. But I'll tell you what, that man single-handedly, when we started the demo process here, came in, helped us tear out, helped us put up. Everything I've needed, I've called and asked for, he's been there for us. We're blessed to have him and all our board members, because everybody has a niche to get us to where we are today. So if you see a board member, please, they got a name tag, stop and talk to them. Find out if you need a little more of what we're about. And you're right, Supervisor, the town, this was the easiest process I built a shed and it took me forever in the town of Gates to do it. But your guys, the building inspector, Mitch, the fire inspector, you guys made it painless. It was awesome. So I got to say thank you to you guys for helping us get where we're at. So I'm sorry, Tracy. All right,
Thank you so much for having me. My name's Tracy DeFlorio, county legislator, and I'm here to present this certificate of recognition of the Pirate Toy Fund on behalf of the county legislature for all the work that you did and do in our community. I'm truly humbled to be here and think about how one small child's selfless wish has resulted in just the blessings to hundreds of thousands of families in our community. So thank you so much for all you do and allowing me to be a small part of this. Thank you.
Kevin Donahue. Kevin Donahue. Kevin Donahue, front lingerie.
Thank you. On behalf of Bob Duffy, Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, couldn't be here today. Sends his regrets, but wanted to pass along his congratulations to you. We're very proud to have you as members of ours, and I'm personally very proud and honored to join the board this past year. Want to congratulate you all on this wonderful celebration and look forward to continuing to support you.
Thank you. Thank you. Got to go with family together. Thank you. Anybody else that has one, please. If not, grab a glass of champagne, please. If you see one, they're walking around. We'll wait till everybody gets. If you don't want champagne, we have non-alcoholic champagne. It's just, even though we're a kid-friendly organization, this is one of the moments we need to toast this. If you got a Diet Pepsi, you can raise that too, guys. But listen, thank you for what you've done for us to get to where we're at today. And Dave said it. I started this organization 22 years ago. I walked in the hospital room playing Santa Claus, and I gave this little girl a toy. And for one moment, that toy took her pain away. For one moment, it was about the toy. And I was sold on the organization back then. And look where we come. The first year, I think you guys gave out 300-400 toys. Last year, we gave over 36,000 toys free of charge to 105 program partners. So salute. Thank you.
Pirate Toy Fund.
But I do need, anybody want to, the Schneider family, anybody wants to come in the lobby, we have one more presentation in the lobby, please. Adam and I go way back, and he excuse my expression, he's a ball buster, so am I. With that expression, he got visited by, where his new office is, he got visited by the police department, who said they had a warrant for him. You got to see this body camera footage, it's phenomenal. And he wanted to know where the warrant came from. He wanted to know what was going on and stuff. When he found out it was me, oh my God, he's like, I'm getting even with you. So I got to look everywhere he goes. Now he told me he was in my office. I got to go check my underwear because I got to make sure there's nothing in there that's going to scare me. No, in there. But guys, listen, this is something very special to me. Not only they became big supporters of the Toy Fund, they became friends. So with that being said,
Whoa. Supporters of Toy Fund, friends.
Mike said we were friends. So
Mike lied to you. He likes you a lot.
with that being said, we want to dedicate.
Don't put any holes in the wall.
I did it. The Adam Schneider, the Schneider family boardroom by Adam and Callie donated to us. Due to their support and commitment to the mission of the Pirate Toy Fund, this building was donated by them. So forever, your name will be on this boardroom. So thank you so much for doing what you do for the community. He does more than just for the Pirate Toy Fund. You guys are blessed. You guys are great people, and I'm blessed to have you in our lives. So thank you. Thank you so much. Now the last thing, there's food, guys. Tons of food. You gotta manja. It's all about the food. And your husband knows that. And you can tell him I said so. Guys, don't forget to say a prayer for Rick Wallenhorst Sr. And thank you. Please mingle, talk to our board members, and let us know if there's anything we need to educate you on. Thank you again.
Sorry.